Good morning, everyone. In case you don't know by now, from the past 6 years, yes, May 18th was the 6-year anniversary of Valley and Beyond, my first online media outlet. So, my name is Michael Phoenix, founder and staff of Surreal Vale City Online Media, and predecessor of Valley and Beyond. Beautiful day here, gorgeous day here. Taste the summer, loving it. Anyway, on May 18th, which was actually yesterday as of doing this article, myself and Vale City had a chance to be where we belong, and that is any major city. May 18th was the great city of New York. Yeah, I'm still on the rush and the high from it. But the reason why we were there is had two events to cover, and also caught two really cool art exhibits in between. But right now, I want to focus on the one that Vale City has been very happy and thrilled to be a part, to help promote and to a minor extent be a part of. Vertere. Now, the actual title, and I do have to reference the card right now, it was actually called Vertere, Unnerving Disequilibrium at Altitude. That statement alone really gets your mind seriously thinking, and in different and unique directions. But I have to start off with very, very special thank you to Rebecca McCormick and Court Dance Contemporary, the dancers. Wow, thank you so much. But onto a quick review. First time experiencing dance theater in my entire life, and I'm 48 years old. Within 5 minutes of the performance starting, the first word that came to my mind was hypnotic. And the reason why I say that, the main reason why it was hypnotic, even from the start, is the fluidity and the constant movements, especially the fluidity, where everything, one set of movements, one person, especially in the beginning, and it happened throughout the entire performance, literally melded and merged with the next. There was no, there were very few times where at least one performer was not constantly in motion, and their bodies were not like human bodies. It was literally like water or a thick fluid just flowing. So right off and it actually almost brought you into a trance. Another thing I loved about this, by the time I got to the Mark O'Donnell Theater over in Brooklyn, my phone, the charge, I was basically trying to just keep it going with a portable charger. And so when I got there, it's like first thing, plug it in a portable charger, just get a little bit more on it. So before the performance started, I was focusing on that. Within the first 2 to 3 minutes, I totally forgot about charging my phone. It was that much of immersive for myself, where just watching the dance, the performance, the movements, the expressions on the performers' faces, just completely forgot about everything outside of that room, completely and totally. Now, and I had a chance to speak with the performers and Ms. McCormack after the show, and I do want to give credit and I'm reading this right off the card. The dance artists were Rebecca Allen, Kathleen Bolana, Luke Muscat, Jessica Nolan, and Brittany Piazzo. Excellent people, very cool, very friendly, and very grateful for everyone showing up. Apologies for no photos. But the Now this performance, it was basically, the way my interpretation of it was, it makes you look inside of yourself. And by that I mean, to this day I have an inhuman fear of heights and falling. Well, at one point they brought out like a short row of monkey bars where you had to go, at your local playground, where you have to go straight across, grab onto the bar and go from one bar to the next. As soon as they did that, without even realizing it, I was like, I can remember as a kid being afraid, because of my fear of heights and falling, being afraid to go on monkey bars at a playground when I was a kid. That's not the, it also, the performance also made us look at our individual fears, both rational and, what people might call irrational. And it brings them to the surface and makes us face them to a point. One part of the performance, and I actually do vividly remember some of it, and this actually blended into another thing that I loved about the performance, where they stood the monkey bars up, and one of the dancers was going across them. But instead of just her being by herself, she was supported by the other 4 dancers. So it was when it was facing the dancers really actually brought that out visually in the facing your fears and looking inside. It blended into the other thing I really loved with this kind of unique interpretation of it also brought to the surface a lot of aspects and problems in our society and in our world, and the way we deal with one another, and especially different levels of different types of relationships. Two parts. That's one of the parts that I remember. And there was a few times where you had that it was like a group of friends together helping each other out. Now, right off, you had all 5 dancers in a circle with their arms around each other. Hopefully you can visualize. And but then within about a minute, one dancer would lean back out of the circle and then go back in. And I took that as, okay, I love my friends, I like to be, with my group of people, but leaning back, okay, now I need a break from it. Now I need to I still want to be connected to them, but I also need to a little bit of a break away from them to be, for some time for myself. One thing that I still very vividly remember, one part was there were 4 dancers sitting in a circle on the right side corner of the stage, and another one that still had the monkey bar set up, and another one just basically went across the monkey bars on her own and started dancing and doing her own thing. And my interpretation of that was, whatever happened with her group or with her friends or anything, the 4 of them, it's like, okay, now we were good, you were part of our circle, you were part of our group, now you don't exist to us. And the solo dancer was like, well, I don't care, I'm doing my own thing, whether you like it and approve of it or not. This is who I am, this is what I'm doing, I'm gonna do it, I don't keep, whatever. So, and that wasn't the only part of relationships or aspects of our society and our world that they did bring out. Those are the ones I just remember the most vividly, please forgive me. To say it was something I didn't expect is an extreme understatement. I was not expecting, with this performance, especially being my first one, for it to have this kind of effect on me, and for me to see the performance and experience the performance the way I did. It was just, at one point, Oh, and one other quick thing. At one point, the dancers were all dancing individually, and to me, to me, it was like, okay, uh, and kind of it was a little wild and almost like appeared a little slightly uncontrolled with the dancing, and between that and the music, it was almost ancient tribal, but yet it described it was like kind of like brought out the chaos in our life, our society, and our world, and how things can almost get out of control real fast if going in, especially if we go it alone. So it was just truly, completely 100%, 1000% amazing what they brought out, and the performers and what they did is just wild. At one point, I'm like, I'm not qualified to review this. I have no idea. And this was like about a third of the way through. I'm like, how, what, huh? And I was actually, understanding everything, and it was having an impact on me at that point. But I just could not figure. I'm like, how can I review something like this having no experience in the area? Check out Core Dance Contemporary. I believe their performance is in September, the next one, up in New York City. To say I am excited, I am so glad to have experienced that, again, is a severe understatement. It was just wow and wild. So thank you again. Thank you to the performers and everyone at Core Dance Contemporary. Thank you to Rebecca McCormack for allowing Vale City to be a part of it in some small aspect. Very cool. Please go to Thanks to Sponsors page. Check out those people and businesses, because without them, things like this couldn't happen. I couldn't bring them to you. To everybody out there, thank you very much for all the support, especially over the past 6 years between Valley and Vale City. You have no idea what it means. There's areas where we might live that are under severe weather right now. Stay safe. And take some time out. Enjoy it with your family, friends, and take some time out for yourself. I just had a really cool working vacation in New York, and loved every second of it.